I guess he could be a secondary targeting guy. But his head is constantly inches away from T-Man 978 Show Review. Hello everyone, T-Man 978 reviewing Titans Returns, Transformers, Xort, and Highbrow. Here's what the back of the package looks like. And here is the multi-language bio. That's how you show off packaging. Here's the front of his collector's card. Here's the rear. And as you can see, his stats don't really go up too much. The only thing goes up is the strength. He's about as basic as he can be. And here is Highbrow finally. For the people who haven't watched my toy hunt, I was able to get him for $10. Yay me! At Walmart. Because they have the sale going on where they're taking it all the way back to 2009 and making Transformers Deluxe figures the price they deserve to be, especially when they're thin and hollow like some of these figures have been recently. But let me not talk bad about them, because Hasbro has done a ton of things, and one thing that I want to get into right away, we've been calling figures repaints and retools for years, and this figure shares a few things with this, but it's so drastically different. Like, they have the same exact hands. They both do this stupid thing where they come like an anime girl. But then they both have the same hips and thighs, and the front of his toes are his heel spurs. Everything else, even though they have like the same transformation, is completely different. Their whole entire body, the lower legs, the forearms and biceps, the whole back, the whole rear is completely different. Like, this has a cockpit that opens up to show this little transformation joint on the inside. This covers that transformation joint, and he has a whole cockpit hanging off his back. We complained so much about Combiner Wars that Takara Tomy and Hasbro just came up with a whole new way to make Transformers, and that's awesome to me. As for Highbrow, I think this is a cool figure. This is one of my favorite ones of the first two waves, and I think I'm gonna do a grade video. Well, I'm gonna have to buy what's his name, Wolf Wire, for myself when I find him again on at $10, so I can do a grade on him. But I really like this figure. He looks very awesome. I'm completely satisfied with this. I don't really have anything to complain about besides the little arms on his Titan Master, and the legs are a bit loose. But everything else, his elbow joints are super tight right there. These joints are tight. His hips are tight. Thighs are tight. Knees are way tight. I like the way they molded that, so even though I'm bending his leg more than 90 degrees, it has molding right there that doesn't look out of place. Now, he is hollow here, and he is hollow back there, because they didn't give him leg covers like they did Scourge. I guess all of that went into this cockpit. But only thing I can complain about is the propellers just hanging off back there, and that being weird looking. They don't fold up and lock into his arm any type of way, but he looks nice. He has a good amount of paint, and he feels decent. Of course, he is lighter than the older deluxe figures, but what you gonna do? Here are his guns, and they're painted where they're fully painted. Where they're not painted is the blue part. It almost looks like it's this color with blue paint on it, but it's really blue paint with this gunmetal on top of that. So that's very cool, and I like the way they look. I don't like this, but that's like that for a reason. Let me get into that right now. The gun can combine like this, and he can hold it sideways, which is a little bit awkward, I guess. You can hold it like this with both hands, which is goofy and weird. And let me get a Titan Master in there. There's no real benefit to being able to do this. I guess this is more made for the city modes and whatnot because this looks silly. If you want to, you could store these on his back off the cockpit or hang them off there if you wanted to. Here is Xort. They painted his eyes, yay. Like I said, his shoulder joints are loose on mine. Yours might not be like that. Only thing they painted was the visor. They didn't paint any of his arms or legs, but yeah, he still looks good to me. Here's what you're working with as far as what would be the original 4 Headmasters. Now they're Titan Masters. Stylor got the worst end of the stick because they didn't give him any paint. It doesn't match with the rest of the guys, and that's very disappointing. He just looks so cheap compared to these. Just, if they would have gave him a little bit of visor paint, and I guess I could do that, or try to do that with a Sharpie. I don't want to because their faces are so small, I'll probably just mess it up, but oh boy, this is what you're working with. Here's the main cast together in their combined modes, or with their Headmasters attached, Titan Masters attached. And there you go with that right there. Before transformation, this little thing right here, chest panel, can pop out like that. If you want him to be a little bit more angular instead of flat right there. And his neck is his Titan Master head is a little visible in the neck, just like Scourge. I mean, he can look down a lot more than he can look up. He can look up, but the main problem with them looking up is all the legs back there. That bumps. I mean, you could do that, and now it's like half transformed, but whatever.
Transformation, it's so simple a child should be able to do it. Make him into a little seated position right there. Put these hands up into the forearms, that's why they're hollow. Stretch this down just like Scourge, but instead of like Scourge, you don't have to rotate it. Put the legs like this, put the little heel spur up, bring this up like that, same thing over here, tab it together. This seems to need an extra bit of force to get together, at least on mine. Rotate the shoulders down, tab up there and right there. Tab up here, and there. Then just bring cockpit forward, and boom.
Here you have Highbrow in his helicopter mode, or attack chopper. Getting this cockpit open, you could push down on that or try to wedge your fingernails up under there, but they didn't make it easy. But now we could take Xort, put him in here, and now he's the pilot of Highbrow. Sit up straight, dude. Come on. Whatever. Now he's the pilot, which is awesome. I had Highbrow as a kid. He's one of the few. He's the only Headmaster I had as a kid, and that was the fun with him was short-lived because I lost the Headmaster before the Christmas vacation was over. I think I only had him for about 2 days, which really sucked for me. Things of note, he still has this stand port right here, and yes, he has another stand port right there, so you can put him in like your Bondi stands and whatnot, and he'll still be able to float around. You can leave that like that if you want. This guy got a ton of love paint-wise. Like, they painted all this white detail or gray detail right there. They painted this light blue. Gunmetal there on both sides. Gunmetal here on both sides. A red strip right there. This red down there, plus the Autobot symbol. And this gunmetal right there to make that fake propeller back there. Like, they really gave him a lot of love paint-wise. Landing. You can push this landing gear down, and if you want, you can stretch this all the way open. If you could see in there, but I don't have a light shot in there, you would see his transformation part. Now he can stabilize, sort of. No, let's see. No, that doesn't stabilize it. So you have to put his weapons on. That helps when the weapons are on. But basically what you're supposed to do, handle going towards the inside, take this little part, shove it through the 5mm port right there. Now these wheels are facing down. That wheel is there, and he's up. For extra stability, now that those guns are there, you can pull this out. So there you go with that. I think that is really, really awesome. This is one of the best ones to me, in my opinion. I really, really like this. Here are Scourge and Highbrow in their vehicle mode, and as you can see, same parts or similar parts being shared between them, but completely different alt mode. And I had to correct myself. The arms do transform a little bit differently, but there you can see that comparison right there. And here he is with his Headmaster, Titan Master buddies right there. All similar sizes. He may be the biggest vehicle. No, Brainstorm is the longest. But they're all similar in size and whatnot. So this is really, really cool. And I'm happy that we're finally to this point where Hasbro is giving us characters like this, and I'm happy to be alive, and I'm happy to have these purchased finally. To make sure I cover everything, you could put the guns like this, and that looks cool. You could plug them in like this if you want. I don't like that so much, but that's an option. And lastly, for the kids mostly, here's the last option you can do as far as positioning the guns. And like I keep saying, this isn't tactically sound. He could be a secondary targeting dude, but his head is inches away from being sliced off at any moment while they're flying around. Back in the day, helicopter bots used to be really rare, but Combiner Wars completely killed that noise. But anyway, I am happy for this figure. Like I said, I really like it. And I'm happy to see what Hasbro is going to keep pumping out for us in the future. Because if they can keep this up, I'll be happy and I'll keep collecting them. But if they don't, I'm going to definitely drop off. So far, it's looking like I'm not going to... It's a whole bunch of Voyagers I'm going to skip, and probably Leader Class, I hate to say. But this is a good figure, and I can definitely recommend it. I can also recommend, if you're still watching, pause right now and click the like button because you like this video. You're still here. Click one of the many videos I'm going to be sharing over there on the screen if you're using a touchscreen device or a PC. Comment, subscribe, and share. T-Man978 out of here.